All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here live tonight, Iowa Speedway. That's right. We're going to do some oval racing here with some awesome Indy cars from the CFRL League Indycar Championship. We're back at it again. We got these bad V6 twin turbo powered machines. Big goat karts, what I call them, on big wheels, but they got some big speed about them. Well, I'm Joe White up here in the booth, OSR Network, and I got a special guest up here tonight, Walker Thompson. Walker, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be here.
Man, absolutely. And I tell you what, we're going to turn some big speed and big power here at this track, kind of D-oval size track. But these guys, they got a little bit more temperature involved. And I'm going to tell you, 2 weeks ago, Pocono, wow, that's the only word I can say about it was wow.
I mean, I was part of that race, and it was pretty incredible. Being close quarters like that in Indy cars, I mean, you're on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, those guys, man, did a phenomenal job. Learned a lot about how these cars draft, and that's what I was saying throughout the season. It's been very interesting to me is to learn what these cars are like. Because, you know, hey, I'm a NASCAR guy. I come from that side. I do like road racing as far as GT3 style cars and whatnot, but mostly NASCAR, and I'm going to tell you, learning a lot about Indy cars, because my exception on them, and like a lot of people say, is, well, they just ride in the line behind each other, they don't get in. Well, I'll tell you what, mine's been opened up and learned how these cars drag, because I wondered why they were swapping positions so much, but evidently that's how these guys break the draft and do the draft. And these cars, as we're watching in practice, they're back at doing the same thing.
Yeah, these drive just so much different, and I think that's why we've seen in real life, you know, Juan Pablo Montoya, Dario Franchitti, they struggle when they go to NASCAR. I mean, they are just two totally separate cars, the way they handle, the way they drive. I mean, it's just total opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you actually are one of the drivers here and have drove these cars. I'll be honest with you, I really have never drove them. I did a couple spin tests around some tracks, and I'm going to tell you, these are some bad, fat. I call them big go-karts, which they are open-wheeled, and coming from a go-kart background that most of the Indy cars and F1 drivers do in real life, you can kind of take a lot of the driving techniques from that to these cars, because, you know, one thing I do know is there is no power steering. It's a one-to-one steering aspect. It almost is like what a go-kart is. You're one-to-one steering. The response to these cars are very, very sharp, very quick, and so you can take a lot of that with you over to this kind of tech and learn as a driving technique goes as you get older and whatnot. So tell me, man, your experience in these cars, or what we should experience tonight on this track.
Well, I went out and ran a couple practice laps earlier, and it is full throttle here at Iowa. So, I mean, what I really expect is a lot of close racing. This is as short of a track you're going to get for Indy cars as you'll get. I mean, this is basically your Bristol or your Martinsville of IndyCar. So when we do see a wreck tonight, I anticipate it'll be pretty big, and I think it's going to get a little tight on later in the runs. We've got a little bit warmer weather this week. I think it's going to get real interesting the longer the run goes to see how everything files out.
All right, well, that's a good assessment right there. Like I say, it's always good, man, to give a driver's view of what up here. Like I say, I'm learning. I actually got a guy out here in the chat who loves IndyCar stuff. John Marine loves road course style racing. He's been giving me a lot of cues on what to look for. We're already seeing what you're talking about. Is that guys have been very, very close. That's another thing, man, that amazes me. Somebody told me once, they can't bump in these cars. Yeah, okay. I don't think so. I've seen some bumping. You can do a little bit of it. Obviously not like you could in a NASCAR car where you get out there and slam each other door to door. But you can a little bit. I mean, these are not, when we say open wheel, folks, you can see them. Sure, the wheels are open and they're open set, but they are flat to the side and contoured to the body, so it's definitely going to be one of them things. You have a little bit of room, but you also are running at a high rate of speed. You can climb up on top of one of these guys' tires in a heartbeat.
And it's not pretty when you do.
Absolutely. Well, we got a guy out there, man, Gerald out there. He says 7/8 mile in 17 seconds. Bad fast. You're right. Well, we're about to see 20 of the bad fast drivers here, and some bad fast, big, awesome machines around a bad fast little track, so to speak, and some awesome speeds of 180 some mile an hour. That's insane at an open style kart like this. I mean, these guys got to have some nerves of steel to be inches and feet apart from each other, racing around here for 200 laps. The mentality you got to have, that's another thing there, Walker. What kind of mentality you got to bring to a race like this?
Well, just from my little experience, I mean, you've got to be aggressive. You can't be passive in these cars. If you're going to make a pass, you've got to be set and go with it. You can't second guess your move at all. But you also got to be careful with that, because with how much these push in traffic and how much it gets tight if you're behind somebody, it's real easy to ruin your day and somebody else's as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about ruining someone's day. Everything happens so quick with these cars. We're talking about, we was talking about the steering a little bit earlier. I was about it, and just to reiterate that, I was talking about a 1-to-1. What that means, folks, basically is your steering ratios are messed up with a rack and pinion on your actual driving car and a NASCAR car. Well, in these, it's pretty much straight to the wheel, so to speak, and it's straight out there to the tire rods and everything. As soon as you just tweak and turn it, the wheels turn. And a normal one, you have a little bit of a play, so to speak. That's a better way to use it, a ratio. So here, so you've got to be fine-tuned, reflexes and everything on top of your game. You're talking about everything happens so quick. That's another thing. Looks like we're in the middle of our drivers meeting, getting set here to go qualifying here soon. Get this thing pumped up for 200 laps here. I mean, 200 laps, a long way. Can be a long way, obviously, caution-wise, or it can go by very, very quickly, because like what they just said, 17-second lap times, that's a pretty darn quick lap time around this track.
It's like something you've never seen. I'm telling you, if you get in that car, it is just unlike anything else on the sim. I mean, I can't even describe it. Everything's so quick that you can barely control what you're doing, honestly.
I had a guy the other day tell me, he said he's scared of these things, and they frighten him so bad. And I went and I ran around Pocono a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what, I was more off the track than I was on the track, trying to get everything straight. You're right. I agree with you. Everything happens so quick in these cars. It's, you know, you're able to adjust a little bit with a normal style car, a NASCAR car, or anything like that. But in these things, and even in a GT3 style car, which is, you know, relatively a pretty quick, you know, style car, these things here, I mean, you're at blazing speeds. Everything is just wide open at you. I mean, we'll get some good shots here. I love the roof cam, man, with these cars, because it shows you that speed that they have, the sense of speed that these cars bring. And on this size track, it's just going to be a wow factor.
It's going to be a show, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We're in the middle of qualifying here. These guys are getting geared up. We got 20 of some of the bad fast boys here at the CFRL Indycar Championship. And I want to welcome old Walker Thompson up here, man, in the booth with me. I appreciate him coming here. I want to welcome everybody out there in the chat. Everybody's coming out here because, like what he just said, you're about to see a show on wheels here of some driving precision out here. These guys are about to show you what IndyCar racing is like and make you a believer and change your mind forever on what these cars can actually do out here. What's going on, Robert? How you doing out there? We're getting geared up here. I say Walker, probably from time to time, he's got to do some admin duties also, so he might get quiet every once in a while. So we'll get that geared up. What's going on, Joshua? How you doing out there? And everyone, man, that's out in the chat, want to appreciate it, because we got 200 laps. We're in the middle of qualifying here, and different between the oval and the road courses. The road courses, they get about 10 to 15 minutes worth of qualifying. On the oval side, they get 5 minutes or the 2 laps, whichever one comes first. Obviously, road courses being longer, that's why they got a little bit longer time on qualifying. So, top of the hour, 9 o'clock, so when we go qualifying for all series here at the CFRL IndyCar Championship, but it could be different. 9:05 is normally when we're going to go green flag on the ovals, and we do got some road courses. We got Sonoma coming up here soon. We got Road America, Watkins Glen coming up. Oh yeah, and we mentioned we also got Indianapolis, and that's right, the famed thing. That's where the Indy cars shine the most, 230 mile an hour. And I'm going to tell you, that's going to take your breath away to watch these guys, man, blast around that track at that speed.
I was fortunate enough to make it to the real Indy 500 this past year. I am from Indiana, and I happened to go for the first time, and it is something else. I've been to many brickyards, I've been to many NASCAR races, and seeing those guys come by at 230, it just doesn't compare.
Yeah, that's some blistering speed, and you want to talk about nerves of steel, you've got to have it. Being that close to them guys, man, coming around the track, I mean, that is just, wow. I just can't imagine 220 some mile an hour, them guys going around that track. That's just breathtaking to see. But looks like Adam lingering. I always say, hey, look, the man's just lingering around, and now he's lingering around on pole right now.
Got a pretty good time down there.
Yes, he does. We're talking about, well, I say that, then Matt Kingsbury moves it on up. We were talking about 17-second times. Look at them boys up in the 16 seconds. They picked it up and picked it up very hurry.
Looks like we got just a couple left, but I mean, those times are picking it up from practice speeds. I don't know if that's with the track or if they were just pushing it a little bit harder there in qualifying.
Yeah, no doubt. Who knows on that one? Like I say, right now, Matt Kingsbury sitting on point. Adam lingering right there in second. Joshua Hazard. I think that's how you say his last name. Is that right?
Maybe.
All right. Walker's about in the same boat I am. But I'm learning the names like Austin Espity. I know I got that right, so hallelujah. Pat myself on the back on that one. I have to say it a little slow. You have to slow down on that one, but yeah, I don't see Stefan out there.
I don't either. I don't know. He had not told the admins if he was going to be here this week or not. Don't know if he had something pop up or what, but that could be something big in the standings for sure. Yeah,
point standings. That's another thing we'll get into. Is we still got about 5-6 races to go. Somewhere in that, I think about 6 or so races to go left in the season here. So something we'll start talking about later on in the next couple races and whatnot. But looks like Joshua Adams is the man that Matt Kingsbury is the man that puts it on pole here for the night. As we're getting set here, folks, man, to go 200 laps around this awesome little track. That's what we'll call it here, Iowa Speedway here for the IndyCar CFRL League, man. IndyCar Championship. Let's go ahead and get the grid in order because Matt Kingsbury puts it on pole. Adam lingering right there. Man, just lingering. He's sitting in second. We got Joshua Hazard right there in third. Bronson Stafford. That's a name I know of right there quite well, sitting in fourth. And Austin Espity right there sitting in fifth. Justin Krasinski. Haven't seen him in a while, but hey, he's out here tonight, sitting in sixth. Tanner Watkins right there in seventh. Ray Kingsbury in eighth. Brer. Could tell you on that Prad. Is that right?
I think Briar LaPrade.
Briar LaPrade. There we go. Good deal. Sitting in ninth. And William, we were talking about that one earlier.
Kruzka,
yeah. William Kruzka rounds out the top 10. As we look to the rest of the field here, wow, these are some guys out here that can get it done in these huge monster machines out here. Big go-karts, what I call them, man, with a high horsepower. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens as guys are actually gridding up right now. So what do you think? 200 laps? Who's your favorite out here, Walker?
I think I'm going to have to take the guy on point. I'm going to take Matt Kingsbury tonight.
All right, take Matt Kingsbury. He's always looked good, man, through and through. I'll see. I'm gonna shoot with old Adam lingering out there. Hopefully, he can linger himself up into a victory tonight. He's actually done really good, and man, putting it up front. So we'll see what happens.
For sure.
Race is starting now, Eagle. You got here in time. Eagle out in the chat said, when is the race?
Right here, right now.
Well, that's it. We're about to get set here. 200 laps here. Some boys, men in IndyCars. And what's going on? There's John Marine out there. That's right. We're back at it for the CFRL Indycar Championship League here. Some IndyCar action going on, John. And I tell you, got old Walker Thomas up here in the booth with me. He's going to be kind of give us a bird's eye view of what a driver is like out here in these things. Kind of give us an idea of what these guys are going to feel like going around this track. And someone said it's a 7/8 miles track, but they're doing like 16, 17 seconds right here. So you know they're doing some scary fast speed. The Eagle said, yep, just noticed.
Perfect timing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we do. Well, I tell you what, and the lights off on the pace car. It's about set. They do 2 laps around here in the caution. These guys get geared up out here. We're geared up here in the booth. I hope everyone out there in the chat room, man's geared up, because you're about to see some exciting racing. We're going to try to keep all this action, man, up for you here, because You know, everything here happens so quick, and when it does, it happens violently too. That's what you were talking about earlier, Walker.
For sure. Everything just happens so quick. You just got to be on your toes the entire time.
Yep, absolutely. Well, here we go. Pace car's coming out of turn number 4 here. It's going to shoot left on the pit road and send these machines a roaring. They got a unique sound to them. They don't go vroom, vroom. They go meow, meow. And they're about to take off, man, all through. Well, they've got about 6 gears in these things and a high RPMs to deal with it. As there we go, Matt Kingsbury out front. He takes it as we're off, and these guys are already 3 wide going into turn number 1 there, Walker.
3 wide all the way through the backstretch. They are still not filing out. There they go. They're 2 wide now.
Well, 2 wide, they single out up front for the nose hill, but I tell you, look at the back there, and this is what we're going to see earlier on. Folks, I'm telling you, if you think these IndyCar guys, man, are scared to go side by side, put it inches apart from each other, think again, because they got nerves of steel. Now they're filed out in a line up front, but they're still right there on top of each other.
We got to move for the lead here. Looks like, who is that? Matt Kingsbury back to the lead.
Yeah, that might be another thing that we're going to keep up with. Maybe they're doing that draft thing that we was talking about at Pocono where they were swapping it. Because I wondered why in the world they had, 20-some lead changes. They were back and forth, back and forth. Right now, everybody knows to tail on a single file line very fast, 185. Let's see how fast they do get, 188 mile an hour down that front stretch. That is bad fast walkers. Whew, that's quick on a short track.
I mean, that's equivalent to being at Charlotte or Texas in the stock cars. I mean, that is just ridiculously fast.
Yeah, on this track too, man, to put some speed down there. We've got a good battle going on for 4th and 5th as they go side by side right there, close to each other up front. They are still 2 wide in the back there. Got a couple packs, but they got a huge pack between there from 4th on back.
Looks like we got another swap at the lead here. Looks like Kingsbury's going to fall back to Lindgren.
Yeah, it is. And then we got a battle for 2nd spot right there. It looks like Austin's trying to bring it up in there, and he does. He clears the man of Matt up front. Joseph brings that thing to the top side, and he is leading this one here as they go single file. They sorted it out back there between Adam Lindgren, Tanner, William, and all them guys back there, Justin. So right now, this is what I was talking about, Walker. The action happens so quick here. Next thing, they're all single file. The next thing you know, they're back double file passing each other.
Yeah, I thought it was hard in the car. It's even harder up here in the booth to keep up with what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, that's why we keep up, man, with the action. Let the people see what's going on out here because it's a good battle up front. Austin, man, has pulled the power of that machine to the front side. Joseph sitting right behind him, but they're thinking about taking it 3 wide back there, and they look for just a second. We're under caution.
We got a caution.
Oh, man, I got a car up. I got on him right now. Let's go back on the replay. Let the viewers see what happened there. It looks like William got up in the wall on that just a little bit. And what you were talking about earlier there, Walkers, we watched this replay and let the viewers see out here. He's out there running around. Not doing too bad. Don't know if it's a case of he just got loose here, but we're going to find out here in just a second on this replay. He's up. Oh, he caught the apron, and the car shot up to the wall. And, man, you talked about violent. Boy, that thing just looked like it was wide open straight to the wall. Violent hit. And somebody get that man an aspirin. He's going to need it.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate case of hitting the apron there. With these cars, you can't afford any mistake like that. And the stock cars, you might be able to get away with clipping the apron and gathering it back. But when you clip the apron in these cars, it's no good.
No, it's not. Well, I'll tell you what, under caution for the first time, maybe we can get a talk here with Austin Espety. And see, man, how his car's actually doing out there.
Made a lot of ground up there.
Yes, he did. All right, and we'll bring him up here and talk with him. Austin, Joe at the booth, got a copy?
I do.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, boy, you came through the field like they're by a mad demon in that machine. How's the track feel and how's the kart feeling?
Track has a lot of grip. There's a little bit of push out of 4, but it's manageable with a slight lift. Other than that, it feels really good. Got the bonus point for leading the lap, which is good. And this is one of my favorite tracks in this car, so it should be a fun race.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, one thing I got to ask, how scary is it out there running as fast as you are and as close as you are on this track?
Oh, it's not bad, because in open, we had the same weather, and we trimmed out a lot more downforce, and we were running a lot faster, and we had the setups on edge, so you basically felt like you're going to spin every lap. This is not bad. It's actually kind of relaxing just to be able to turn and not having to feel like the car's going to snap loose every time.
You know, you said relaxing, and that's a word that me and Walker up here in the booth are just not using when we're seeing y'all guys out there doing what you're doing. But hey, have fun at doing it there, Austin. You're looking good out there, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You guys are doing a good job.
I appreciate it. I'll see if I can get him back down there. And he was in Last Lap Motorsports. Where's he at?
That was correct.
Yep. All right. Thank you. There we go. Got him that time. But, you know, that's the bad thing, Walker. You talk about up here, and that's a good thing, man. You're up here in the booth to kind of give you an idea of what we see up here as a viewer, as what we see throughout the broadcast up here and what we call. You can see, man, when I usually sometimes say awesome race, great race, to a driver, you're out there going, yeah. But now what's unique that Austin out there said relaxed.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see how in the world, man. Hey, if he is, hey, man of steel. That's what I got to say.
That's for sure. I'm telling you what, if I was out there right now, I would not be relaxed. That'd be about the last thing I'd be.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, right now we're at lap 13 of 200. They were knocking them off very quickly, but they were doing some awesome, bad, fast stuff out here. Well, folks, we're here live here tonight, Iowa Speedway for the CFRL Indycar Championship League. Newton, USA. We've got some partner college guys out here. Man up front, Austin Espity right there. He was able to power that machine to the front, and they said he was relaxed. Man, probably out there just eating some crackers, man, while he was bringing that car up there at 180-some mile an hour. Joseph's going to start on the outside. Ray Kingsbury's going to start this one out in third, as we're going to get back soon back here. And I want to appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And Brett says this is his home track out there in the chat. And John, as always, throwing out the statistics, man. He's not only is he the accountant here at OSR Network, but he's a statistics master too. So, man, it's got an encyclopedia of racetracks.
It's like we've got our little statistician sitting next to us on the broadcast over here, giving us all the facts we need.
Absolutely. Well, he definitely has some facts. He's been helping me out through here because hey, I'm learning on these Indy cars. It's good to have a driver up here like yourself, Walker, to be able to tell me some of the things, but it's also good, like what you said, you're getting to see a different perspective of what a driver doesn't get to see a lot of times, just how things happen so quickly.
Yeah, it looks like we got one to go here, so we're getting ready to go back to green racing.
And you're right, here we go. At the back. One other thing, folks, they start off in a single file line here too. That's kind of unique form, old school NASCAR, if you want to put it in that form, for the guys like myself and all. As pace car comes out of turn number 4. Here we go. Austin's out front, and I'm going to say he's going to put the hammer down, and man, he's going to let that thing wind out through the gears at almost 11,500 RPMs. As he gets a good jump, these guys won't stay spread out like that for long because of the two guys in his backside. Ray Kingsbury pulls up on the back end of Joseph as he looks on that inside. Thought better of it, just had to back off a little bit.
Go out here, across the start-finish line, we got the top 4 really close together.
Yes, we do. Top 4, they have already got there. They're pulling in that draft. As you see, Joseph, he is pulling in Austin up front here. So we're about to have another battle for the top 4 guys here for the lead. 1, 2, 3, and 4 there, all nose to tail as they're storming around this track.
We go into one, and they are still nose to tail, no separation at all. Looks like Joseph tried to go a little high, maybe to get a run on Austin down the backstretch.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm going to tell you what, Matt Kingsbury, Ray Kingsbury right there, nose to tail. How nerve-wracking is it to drive behind a guy at 180-some mile an hour, inches from him like that, lap after lap, Walker?
Oh, it's nuts. I mean, you're sitting there, you're just hoping for the best. As you see Matt take a move low on his brother there. We got a battle for the lead. Looks like Joseph went around Austin.
Yeah, he did. Joseph went around Austin. Matt went around Ray. Well, I'll tell you what, it happened so quickly. That's what I said. Just one lap, they're sitting there, man, their nose to tail, single file line. Next thing you know, here they go again. They're already side by side, man, battling it out. This is what we saw at Pocono. It was non-stop, lap after lap, and we're riding along with Ray right there, Walker. I'm going to tell you what, now we got about a 6-car battle about to happen. We was just riding with Ray right there, and a good shot, the nose camera, and it gave you an idea, folks, of just how close these cars are getting at 185 mile an hour.
I mean, when you're going a 185 on a 7/8 mile track, everything just comes up so quick to you. Whether it's getting the draft off the car, the wall, the apron, everything comes so quick. And that view just gave you a really good example of it.
Yes, it does, and we have got about a 6-car battle, man, up front. The top 3 right there, nose to tail. Behind them, you got about that's the 4th, 5th, and 6th place right there, as it looks like the outside man, Matt, has been bringing it up. What I'm seeing so far, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Walker, it seems like a guy out front can run out there for a while, but then the guy behind him gets a run on him on the draft and is able to go it, and it almost looks like just a repeat of what we saw at Pocono.
Yes, it does. With these cars, I mean, really, second place is the place to be for coming in the closing laps. Everybody loves the fresh air. You don't have the aero push, but when you are out front, you are a sitting dog. The draft is everything with these cars.
Yeah, it is. Well, look at this. A man in a target machine right there. Justin Krasinski, look at the moves he's making. Pulls it on the outside. He's on the outside of Ray Kingsbury trying to make that pass. Oh,
we got
touch!
Contact.
Oh, man, he's hard in the wall. Wow, let's go back on the replay because he was making moves coming upside. They made contact. The problem is, like you said earlier, Walker, when you make that kind of contact, that quick, everything happens very fast, and there's nothing he can do about it. But this right here, hit the wall, run the caution. Look at this, the target machine went up there. Ray, they just bumped each other coming out of the turn. I mean, really just no harm, no foul there between those ends. I mean, Justin had a good lead. It looked like Ray just got a little tight, moved up into him. The problem is a violent hit right there. Ooh, and 2 of the 3 of the cars, nowhere to go, got entangled up. Just a product of nowhere to go on that one. Bad place, wrong timing.
That was a prime example of aero push right there. He was sitting underneath Justin, and with that aero push, just slid up the track just a little bit, and just that little contact is all it takes in these cars.
Yeah, I hate to see that, man. Boy, yeah, it was a brutal one right there, John. I'm going to tell you, every wreck you're going to see here, and unfortunately, hopefully we don't have any more, knock on wood, but every wreck you see here at the fast pace that they're going, and plus a short track, and as close as they are, going to be probably a brutal hit. In real life would disintegrate these cars, and I got to give my hats off to IndyCar. I've seen some terrible crashes, but a lot of these guys to walk away from what they do, so the safety of these cars in the cockpits or something else.
Yeah, we've seen some brutal hits even in the last couple of years. One I can think of is last year in the 500. This year, Scott Dixon. I mean, up and over on the short shoot at Indy, and he was able to walk away from it. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these guys, man, right now, man, are doing a phenomenal job, man, as modulating around this track. Austin still up front with Matt Kingsbury there. Let me ask you a question, Walker. What are we looking at as far as like pit stops, tire wear, distance that these guys can go?
I didn't really take a good look at it when I practiced earlier, but Iowa isn't too much of an abrasive track, especially in these cars with so much grip. I wouldn't think tires are the biggest need until you'd probably get maybe 15, 20 laps in the run. I wouldn't be surprised to see guys in the back come down almost every caution if it's a shorter lap or if it's a shorter run. But I don't think tires are going to be that big of an issue. I'm sure the guys up front are going to try to stay up front as much as they can just because of track position.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to tell you what, right now it's been a tremendous one up front here as we're here at Iowa Speedway here for the CFRL Indycar Championship League. Under caution here for another brutal crash. Justin Krasinski out there tore it up, tried to go high. Like I said, man, the man Ray on the bottom side just pushed up just a little bit. They had a little contact, and he just hit the outside wall very hard. But Austin Epspedy right there is he's out front. Matt right there, Kingsbury sitting in second, Joseph sitting third, and we got Tanner fourth, and Adam Linger, man, right there in fifth. So it has been an awesome race so far. Now, there's another thing. We talked earlier, Walker, before race about the heat on the track and how hot it is out there. And if we go for a long green flag run, we could see these carts starting to get away from each other because of tire wear and obviously heat. But as long as we keep getting a caution here and there, it's going to keep these guys bunched up together.
Yes, it will. That's kind of what we saw at Pocono. Cautions were breeding cautions, especially with being a short track like this, you're going to be even closer together than you would be at, say, Pocono or Auto Club. So I think the guys definitely want to see this go green for a while, just so they get spread out and get a comfort level. Unless you're Austin, I guess you're comfortable out there all the time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he said earlier he was comfortable, man, and very relaxed. And I'm going, wow, what a choice of words to use on a track out here. But hey, if you're used to these monsters out here, and folks, one thing I've learned about them, these aren't V8 style. These are V6 twin turbo styled, over 700, almost 800 horsepower cars. And these things only weigh about 2,000 pounds, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but that's a lot of power to weight ratio.
Yeah, and that's what allows these cars to go so fast with how light their bodies are, and able to get around a small track like this with, full throttle. You're watching the Xfinity cars here a couple weeks ago. They're having to brake decently hard. We're watching these guys go out here full throttle. It's just pretty insane.
Yeah, absolutely. The grip level on these cars are downforce. Now, I do know there's a new change coming to IndyCar, but they take away that wing a little bit at the back. Be interesting to see there. They can take it back to the old school days. Lights off on the pace car. Here we go, folks. Getting set here to go back some more action here, and it has been a doozy. We're at lap 30. Going to be lap 31. This pace car ducks off in the pit road, takes that hard left turn. Here we go. Austin, man, he's going to hammer it down, take off, and he does. Well, gets a good jump out front. He did this earlier. But old Matt Kingsbury's right there behind him. But he's also got Joseph, man, on his back end and might try to do something big. But in the backside back there, we got a whole pack. And listen, old Joseph goes on the inside.
Austin got out to a great start there. It looks like Joseph's going to get across Matt for second if he can hold on to it. Looks like we might have a battle for second.
Yeah, we got a battle for second. Joseph takes that thing, but might be all for not here just very soon. Boy, I tell you, I love that roll bar cam right there. That just gives you the perfect shot of what these guys are looking out their front visors here as they're driving these carts around here. Just shows you, man, the intensity of how fast everything can happen. As there you see Matt's going for second.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's kind of filed out here early on in this run. Just the top three close together, and then we got another small pack of 2 cars behind them, almost 3.
Yep, got Adam Lingern back there. He's got in a pack right there with Tanner. Ryan Broderick, haven't really mentioned him much. He started 12th, currently up in the 6th. He got, was that Breyer? Is that how we said that? Breyer?
Yeah, Breyer LaPrat.
Breyer, okay. All right, well, he's up there. He's actually come from the 9th, started 9th, 7th, as I say that. Then he's got another one, Sergio, right there on the inside of it. And, Bronson Stafford, my bad. Sergio's right behind him in the number pack. So like you just said, Walker, we've got a little pack up front, little pack here. So it's kind of in groups of packs here. But there's action, man, up front, middle, and back all over this track.
There is always action in these cars. All it takes is 2 cars to make good racing here. We don't have to have 30 to, be close and be interesting. It just takes, like what we're seeing here with these top 6, to have a heck of a race.
Absolutely. We even go back here to 9th, 10th, 11th spot with Jose and all them. Well, those guys are side by side back here. Chris Wright, Ray Kingsbury there. They are mixing it up back there. The man on Jose Celis right there, he's got him a mixed up paint job machine. Boy, like you said, he almost got tight and got up in the back side there of Ray.
Yeah, we see these guys just pushing it really hard here while they've got the grip on the tires, trying to make up spots as much as they can.
Absolutely. When you talk about, I see the guys, man, around here very impressed with the lap times going around here. 17 seconds. You're right. That is as fast as some of the actual dirt sprint cars take around a lot of dirt tracks. And these guys are doing them, well, in 700 some odd horsepower monster machines, inches and feet apart from each other out here. No fear. That's what I'm going to say. These guys have got to be fearless, as it's a good battle still going on back here for the 10th, 11th, and 12th spot.
Joe, I've been watching up front. We've got a battle of 6 cars, and Joseph and Austin have been going at it the last couple of laps. We got Joseph taking the preferred line on the bottom, trying to keep Austin behind him.
Yeah, it is. Up front, man, I tell you what, you're right. Joseph up here takes it to the point, but Austin looks on the outside here. It's just battles everywhere. The action's all over the track. And, folks, I hope y'all are enjoying it, because just as much as me and Walker's up here enjoying it, trying to keep up with everything.
Oh, we got Austin.
Wow. Was that net code? or let's go back and watch
he just
it.
got loose.
Yeah, let's go back and watch it again here on the replay because we saw it kind of live. But I'm gonna tell you, that thing just snapped, violent.
Yeah, it just looks like he got loose there, Joe.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's watch right here on this replay here because he was running. He was on the high side, and that was Austin right there. He's on the high side, looking on the inside there or the outside of Joseph. They never made contact. We watched a little bit live. I say we're watching. Yeah, he went up there. Looks like he got in the marbles just a little bit, way up out of the groove, and that thing just violently shot, man, out from under him, hit the wall hard. Unusual right there, Walker.
Yeah, it was really, really weird. I've never really seen anything like that here at this track. It doesn't look like he has that much damage. I mean, I know a little damage goes a long way in these cars, but it doesn't look like he's destroyed like you would think he would be.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I tell you what. Well, pit stops here. We were talking about it earlier. These guys making it. Everybody's coming in now. Well, he was saying earlier he was relaxed. I wonder how relaxed now he might be.
Yeah, I don't think he's too relaxed now.
Absolutely. After a hard hit like that, I mean, that was just... Now, you're a driver. I got to ask, because that right there, that's a wake-up call. Because that's really, you're out there driving, your car's handling great, you're doing good, you have a fast car, you're going for the lead. The next thing, man, that thing just unexpectedly just snaps out from under you. As a driver's mentality, does that make you think, wow, what did I do wrong, or is something up? You know, what's that make you think?
If I'm still in the race at this point, watching what just happened, it's definitely going to make me think twice before I try to go to the outside of somebody like that, or use the high lane like it looked like he was going to try to use. I do see in the track and the chat, sorry. Looks like there was a little bit of netcode there that caused that, but still, just a massive spin for, just for what wouldn't seem to be a cause for.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, the way it did, I know you were talking about the netcode, but it looked like the rear came out from under him.
Yeah.
The rear was actually behind Joseph. So we saw him get up there out of the groove. And I know Brett out there looks like that's turn 1 and 2 said he just got tight going in. We've seen that a couple times actually earlier on with Justin and Ray, where Ray got just, it was like a snap, just really quick. Ray's car just jumped up and went right there, and Justin obviously in the wrong place, wrong time, and got hit. But it was the same thing there with Austin. It just going around, all of a sudden, boom, real quick, car. Maybe that's characteristics of this track.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That really is really weird there. I've never seen anything like that. For netcode on his left front to get the back end loose. I don't know.
Well, another thing, if it is a characteristics of this track to where, okay, now drivers are going to think about, okay, is this track that edgy to where you've got to have the right line, the right time, the right perfect, that this car can jump out from under you that quickly, get that tight this quickly, and you can lose control. Do you start thinking about that as a driver now?
Yeah, I'm not going to try to go make a move like that after seeing what just happened. It's going to basically change my mentality the rest of the race, at least until later when maybe I have to make that move. But after seeing that, I'm not going to try to go make a move like that. I'm going to try to see if there's something else available if I'm stuck behind somebody ready to make a pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, man, we still got a lot of cars here been involved, and it has been an awesome race so far. Hats off to all these drivers out here. Very bad fast here because we're at Iowa Speedway, and seems like we got some hometown boys out there that know a lot about this, and obviously give me a good education level on how the Indy cars are. But we're here at the CFRL Indycar Championship League, and these guys have done a phenomenal job. I got Walker Thomas up here in the booth with me. He's doing the admin's duties. Also giving us insight on how the drivers would feel out here. Because, well, I don't want to be out there.
Neither do I at this point. I'm not going to lie.
Walker said, I'm better up here. I'm eating crackers and I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'm not in any risk up here.
Right now, yeah, no doubt. Well, we go, where are we headed to next week? Are we headed to Sonoma?
That's a good question. I'm an admin and I don't even know the schedule.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm the broadcaster, don't know the whole schedule. I got it wrote down, but I'd have to go look. I think it's Sonoma. Might be. I think we might have one more. It's either Sonoma. I think it's Sonoma. I think. I know if it's not, Sonoma's coming up. But either way, pace car's in. Here we go. How's that name again? Brayer. I'm going to say Brayer. Is that what we said? Go with it. Brayer. All right. We're up front. Well, he goes out front with Ray Kingsbury, and it looks like everybody got stacked up on that restart, and it's stacked up the backside of that field big as they all go 2 wide, 3 wide back there.
Yeah, Breyer got a very good start there with that little checkup. Looks like we've got pretty spread out. Nobody's even really racy here. We go back to Jose back in 9th position where we got the first 2 wide battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, right here too, also, Walker, how bumpy is this track? That's another thing we haven't really talked about.
It's very bumpy. That's one of the things you got to be careful with. Maybe that is something that happened with Austin there. Hit a bump just at the wrong time. But it is very bumpy. It's more bumpy on the bottom where we see them running than it is on the top. We see that more in the stock cars where it affects it. These cars have so much downforce, it's not going to really affect it that much, though.
I got you. All right, well, yeah, Riley out there in the chat just confirmed. We go to Sonoma next. That's what I thought. It was Sonoma. I know we have some other road courses and some actually other ovals and whatnot. What's going on, Zombie? He's over on the Twitch side. How you doing? Yeah, I know it's under the division over there. I was playing division earlier. My bad.
Looks like we got somebody's tires smoking out here. I can't tell who it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I tell you what, we've got a battle up front, though, going on. Those guys up there about to mix it up. Let me know if you find out who it is. We'll go back over and check it out. It's right now, like you said, Breyer right there. He's out front. We're going to have to get him up here and find out how he pronounces that thing after a while. But Joseph's all over his back, decklet, and Ray Kingsbury's been able to bounce back and get back up there to third.
Looks like on my screen here, Joe, it looks like Breyer has a little bit of damage on the right front of his wing. I don't know if that's something just I'm seeing or what, but It doesn't look too good.
No, you're actually seeing right, because actually I'm riding along with Joseph, and he's right there on the outside, and actually the whole side of that right cart right there is actually got damage. So he's either hit the wall or he's hit somebody.
Whatever happened, he's still got some speed, so it must not be too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Eric Tucker out there, man, the Thunderstorm over on the Twitch side, he says, man, these cars are like rockets. You are right. They are like rockets and on rocket fuel almost. They are blasting around this track 180-some mile an hour, inches and feet apart. We're riding along with Joseph right here on the front nose cam. You can see he has feet right off the front side of our leader. Wow, what a run up front.
Well, on my screen, Breyer's wing just went back to normal, so I don't know what's going on there.
Huh, absolutely. Well, maybe he's got one of them automatic, man, flip switch, and the crewman just comes out there and fixes it for him. Who knows?
That sure would be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to tell, man, what goes on here, but I'm going to tell you what, it is a battle up front. And I got to think, Joseph right now might be thinking about that outside move again, because he's poked his nose up front there a couple times. Thing about it is, though, he has not went up there and tried to make the pass on the outside. Maybe he saw what happened to Austin earlier and is thinking twice about it.
Yeah, I'd be a little skeptical just to even try it. I'm surprised we're not seeing him try to make a move to the bottom. It looks like he gets a good run off, and Breyer's leaving a little bit of room there. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to dive a little on him.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing an arc style move. He goes in high, moves it down towards the middle low side, then comes to shooting off the high side off the turn. Call that kind of arcing the turns going in, but he's not using that high side throughout the turn. Maybe he understands that maybe getting up there in that groove might have kicked that cart man away. As right now, these guys still are battling it out up front between the leader there, Breyer, and old Joseph up front. Is still a good battle. Right now, been very, very patient, but very close. Folks, I'm going to tell you, if you don't like, man, closeness like this, and then anybody who ever says IndyCar guys don't, man, race close to each other, I don't know what race y'all looking at.
Yeah, what we can see Joseph doing there, you can see him running about a lane or lane and a half higher than Breyer through the corners. That's keeping the arrow push away from him, but on exit he gets back in that draft to make sure he gets a run on him.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's definitely been able to get a good run right now. Just cannot get that cart up there to get alongside of it and make the pass. Maybe going to try this time. He's able to get close, but then going into the turn, Breyer is able to, man, push that thing in the turn, and Joseph's not been able to do it. But coming down the front stretch, back stretches, he's able to get a nose up there, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are working something good. I mean, we've got the top two here together. Third place is a little farther back, but then there's a big break off between 4th, 5th, and 6th in their little group.
Yep, absolutely. As we're going to ride along here, man, with Adam Lingren, who is sitting back in the 5th place spot. He's got Matt Kingsbury right there in front of him as they're running right there, man, nose to tail. And folks, again, at like 187 mile an hour, they're still doing 17-second lap times around here, knocking these things off at lap 66 to 200. Very fast pace. Seems like to calm down just a little bit out here, but hey, that's what it's about. Like you said, long green flag run. These guys are good spread up in packs, but they are still very, very close. And this is the thing, Walker. As we watch Adam right here, he is probably a cart length away. The thing about it is, though, everything happens so quick here. It wouldn't take long. He'd be right in the back end of the cart in front of him.
No, it wouldn't.
Up front, they are still jockeying around up there, so riding here with Adam. We go behind him. There's Tanner right there, so you got a 3-car setup right there. And those all three are in a nose to tail, maybe just right now riding. But what we're noticing is the line that they're taking. They're arcing it in up high, going down low, and letting it kind of dive or kind of glide back out of the turns.
Yeah, the move they're doing there, if they're behind somebody, like I said earlier, it's just keeping that clean air on their nose. With these cars, when you're stuck behind them, it really pushes tight and you get aero push. So if you can stay out a half car length higher than the guy in front of you, it keeps some clean air on your nose and helps you from pushing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got 3 cars up front, 3 cars behind them. So we've got all 3 kind of 3-car breakaways all throughout the field here. So action up front, middle, and the back going on. As Chris Wright back here, Ryan Broderick, man, Jose Celis is all back here in the mix.
And we got a battle for the lead. It looks like Joseph got underneath Breyer there.
Justin's up front, man, in the lead right now. So we'll go back up here, man, and check it out. Like I say, just kind of get everything going here. It's like you just said, Joseph right there was able to make the pass on him. So he was able to clear him, and we'll see if old Breyer can do the same move that he did.
Looks like he's going to stick with what kind of Joseph was doing on him. Looks like he's a little higher, and then in the middle he's diving it down to get that draft. Going across the start-finish line there. It looks like he's going to look high, get the clean air on the nose, and dive back down to get that draft.
It is. Right now, the guy that's not been able to close in any of this stuff going on up front is Ray Kingsbury. And right now, Ray is the only one. But, boy, look at the run Breyer gets. He's trying on the inside. If he gets that inside groove, he might be able to make that pass as he looks like he's got it. Yes, he does. Wow.
Oh, they're close. They made contact, I think.
All right, made contact right there. Ooh, ouch. Well, it's the old Eric Tesh out there, the Iceman for the Neverlands. What's going on? Figured you'd be loving some karts like this, Eric. Man, you love the Indy style, road style stuff. He's one of them that loves it. Well, let's see if old Joseph can get back up there and try that thing again.
Yeah, I got Ray just kind of sneaking behind these guys right here. I don't know if he's just laying back waiting for something to happen. I say that, and he's moving up into the second spot. I don't know if Breyer got loose there or what.
Well, you better hang on to it. Don't blink too much, man, because you got Matt Kingsbury, Adam Lingren, and Tanner. All 3 of those carts, man, are climbing up here on these 3 guys up front. So they're closing it in and about making a 6-cart battle up front.
Yeah, this is what we're going to see here. Breyer might have made his tires a little hot there on the beginning of that run the bottom line. Might see him struggle a little bit here. Joseph was kind of staying up high, keeping that cold air on his nose. The car was handling a little bit better, and now he's got a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Right here, yeah, we're seeing them close in. Matt, Adam, and Tanner, all 3 of those carts are closing in on the back end there. Breyer, as like you just said, might have heated him up a little bit when he almost spun right there coming out of the turn. As Ray's up front, you got Joseph leading this thing, but it's about to be, as I always say, business picking up, because now we went from 3 cars up front to about 6 cars being up front.
Yeah, they're not too close together, but everybody has kind of closed in on each other. We did have groups of 3 kind of close together, but now it's just spread out between about 6 cars.
It is. Boy, I heard a cart out there, man, goes straight into a rev limiter is what it sounded like. You heard that thing, da-da-da-da. So, I don't know, but we also saw, looks like right there, Matt Kingsbury, because Adam Lingern went around and Matt Kingsbury came out of the turn and wiggled a little bit. So that thing might have got really violently loose coming out of the turn as these 3 men are trying to moving on up. Hey, what's going on, Cody? John? I see old Eric Tess is out there in the chat. What's going on, everyone? I appreciate everybody here because we're at Iowa Motor Speedway here tonight for the CFRL Indycar Championship. And right now, these guys in these Indy cars have put on a well of a show, man, here doing, like I say, 17-second lap times and very bad fast out here.
Very, very fast. I mean, we're still running like qualifying lap times.
Absolutely. Right now, though, Matt Kingsbury and company is trying to pull it up there to make this thing a 6-car. Kind of spread out like we thought it would be over time. We've had a very long green flag run, so tire wear might be the thing that's factoring in on this one so far.
Yeah, we're just not seeing anybody really get back up to Joseph. I don't know if we got a little bit too much heat on the tires or what, but everybody's just kind of staying spread out right now.
Yeah, they are. Well, you got that pack of 6 up front. You got to take it back to 7th spot right there with Bronson Stafford and Chris Wright. They're in the mix up right there, nose to tail. Chris Wright's looking like he's trying to maybe put that target machine and maybe find a way to do it. These guys are starting to understand that, hey, look, they got to be a little patient in these things because these things will be violent out here. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, what I can tell so far, it looks like knowing Chris Wright a little bit, he's kind of stayed in the back just to try to avoid the early wrecks. And I think he was involved in one earlier. I don't think that's really worked out for him. We'll see what he can do here. I would think he'd be trying to push it by now with everybody spread out, but we'll see what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, even the dogs agree.
Yeah, we got a little bit of action in the living room. I apologize.
Hey, that's fine. Hey, understand, man. Hey, look, we're not in studios, folks. We're out here, real life in this thing. I'm going to tell you what, I might have somebody bust through the door behind me. You never know. But that's why I got to push to talk, so I'm good to go. But Bronson Stafford still got his hands full with Chris Wright, and he might have his hands full with Ryan Broderick here soon. So, see, here's what I'm kind of noticing here, Walker, and maybe you correct me if I'm wrong on this one is, you know, with a cart out front, it looks like they're in the clean air, but it doesn't always seem like it. Like in NASCAR, you want that clean air, but it seems like in these carts, sometimes it's like a roadblock. And then next thing we know, we see the cart behind them or a cart behind them start to close in that gap, and then they start swapping that position back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, in these cars, the car will handle 10 times better in that clean air, but you just don't get the speed from the draft like we're seeing Chris get. Chris is running that higher line to get in the clean air, but then he drops back in that draft just to get a run. I'm sure Bronson is full throttle. I mean, his car's handling great, but it's not the fastest way. If you can get that run on him perfect and get underneath Bronson, if Chris can, I mean, that's going to be your fastest way around the track. So that's why we see that happen, as we got a caution.
Oh, caution on the speedway. See. Oh, violent one here too. So let's go back on the replay here on that one, and that's actually going to be, well, that's Brer too. Wow,
yeah, he was running up front.
Yeah, he was. So was having a little bit of trouble earlier on. We noticed he was starting to fall off the pace just a little bit here. Maybe those tires were just starting to give up the ghost some. As we were on a pretty good long green flag run. As we're watching a replay, oh, just some contact between him and the other car.
Looks like Matt Kingsbury.
Well. Oh, wow, we're just watching that thing just violently flip, end over end. Let the viewers out there see, man, what's going on. Hate to see that on his end, man, take some licks like that. But I got to imagine everybody's going to come down the pit road. With that said, it seems just like the same incident we saw between Ray and Justin earlier on.
Yeah, very similar. We just saw the car on the bottom get a little bit tight, just run right into the side of the car above him.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you're right. Somebody might want to go get 911 for that man, because after that wreck, he's probably going to need it.
I would say he needs a new pair of pants.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's bring up old Joseph. See
Why don't
how
I?
his race is doing. Joseph, is Joe White at the booth? You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, Joseph, I tell you, you've been up front for most of the time here. How's the kart feeling? How you feeling out there on this fast track?
Car's feeling good. A lot of grip out there. It's just pretty much gonna be hold the bottom as much as you can. Try to save your tires a little bit, and I don't think it's a fuel race anymore. So surprised, I just slid through my pit box and still beat everybody off pit road. So I don't know what happened there, but I think we just got away with one.
Hey, good pit stop then right there by the crew and company. But out front right now, you think you got the kart that can hang out there? I mean, I know you were able to power to the front. Now everybody's on equal ground with tires and so forth. And earlier on, we saw, a lot of swapping of positions. And, as the tire wear went on, obviously we were able to spread out. What about early on? How's your kart feeling?
It feels good. Like I said, there's just a ton of grip out there. You can pretty much run any line you want to. Earlier when I was running with Austin, I was just running the qualifying line basically when we net coded there. So I don't even know how that happened. So we were running two different lines. But we'll see if Ray can get ahead of Tanner and Adam here, and we'll try to work together and see if we go 1-2 again.
Well, absolutely. Well, good luck out there, man, and hope to see you here at lap 200.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty. Can't get him back down there. There we go. Last lap motorsports. Well, Walker, like we was talking about earlier here, he didn't obviously say he was relaxed, but the one word, man, that they're using out there is grip. Can you, from what you're seeing, I mean, obviously we're seeing a tight push out there, which usually means they have a lot of grip, but the car's very tight going in. So what are you seeing from a driver's standpoint?
As far as I can see, it seems like early on in these runs, with it only being 78 degrees, track at 86, it's just not creating enough heat for the tires to wear very much. We haven't really had a very long run. I think that last run may have been 30 some laps. If we'd see this thing say go green to the end, we'll really see a difference in the amount of push and everything we've got going on.
Could they go the entire time on just no more stops?
I don't know. I'd say we'd probably have to have one more stop. But if we get to 50 laps in a run, you're just going to see the grip level change so dramatically. I don't think they can go 100, but we'll see. Like I said, I didn't check earlier to see how far you actually could go.
Absolutely. Well, he was talking about fuel-wise, doesn't look like a fuel mileage race anymore. Kind of leads me to believe that maybe fuel's okay, that's a long way, 100 laps, which again, we're only doing 17 second times on a 7/8 mile track, so it's less than a mile track here. So, probably so, but tires to me would probably be the biggest factor. 100 laps on these tires at that speed around here. At the grip level, and I know, Walker, even though grip is out there, as we're getting set to go back green flag, it also will tear on tires a little bit over time. So we'll just have to see, man, something to pay attention to. Hopefully we get a good long green flag here as pace car's coming out turn 4. Going to take that hard left turn on pit road. And here we go. Joseph's going to get us a good start. Single file here. He's going to need it. He does. He jumps out front there along with Tanner. But I tell you what, Adam Linger didn't get a good start. But Ray Kingsbury is on the outside. He's going to try to take that spot away.
Yeah, Adam did not get a good start there. It really checked up everybody right there behind him. And allowed the front two to really pull away.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ray's on the inside. He's going to try to break away and take it. He does take that spot and bring it along with him. Bronson Stafford there, who was going to think about taking a 3 wide there of the man behind him, but he's able to clear him.
We got a good battle back here for third.
Absolutely. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th back there. Good battle going on as Ray Kingsbury, Bronson Stafford right there, Ryan Broderick, Adam Linger, and all 4 of them carts right there and a nose-to-tail formation, but they are still jockeying around. And boom, I tell you, Adam Linger, and he about lingered that thing up into the wall.
Yes, he did. It got really close between him and Ryan Broderick right there.
And the same thing we saw earlier on, it looked like he touched the apron down there in the bumps, and it upset that cart enough that it almost got a sideways. Good driving job by him to catch that. They're probably on older tires, been one and done, but on new tires, not bad. But look at the battle, man, right now going on between these three.
It looks like Bronson is on the inside there. It looks like he'll be able to clear. He's going to get around Adam, see if he can make a move on Ray.
Right now, Ray, man, has got his hands full with old Bronson Stafford. Adam right back there just kind of looking around a little bit. And excuse me, I said that was Ryan Broderick that his hands full earlier on that bump. So Adam lingering right there got that TV machine looking good. He's hoping to play a replay in the victory lane. It's at lap 105 here, 200. Good three-car battle right here.
Yeah, we got the top two out front, and then the next three there, and then we've got a group of four just behind them having some good battles.
Yeah, so you talk about a Walker, like you just said earlier on, got to keep up with all this action been going on because it is all over. They're three wide behind this pack of three, so it's four cars behind them, three cars here, two cars up front. Where you go at, Walker?
I don't know. I really can't tell you.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, just pick your poison on which one you got. Well, let's go back here to 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th. But right there, Sergio, he's making moves and headways to the front.
We got some contact.
Contact? Who was contacting?
That looks like, who was that?
Ryan Broderick.
With Ryan Broderick.
Yep, he was having a hard time earlier on. Like I say, he got on that apron earlier on and had to do a whale of a job.
Oh, we got one spinning.
Now that looked like netcoat.
We got Sergio Morezzi in the wall.
Yep, let's go back here because I'm going to tell you what, now that looked like a netcode hit because they were side by side. But let's go back here on the replay and get a better angle of that one so that we can get a better view on what happened on that one. Oh, yeah, right there we saw Ryan Broderick right there. Sergio and Ryan. Sergio got a little like that push and got up into Ryan, then he went around the turn. And then they went side by side. We're watching the replay right here. Went on it. Yeah, that definitely was a netcode incident right there.
Looked like there was maybe like 3 feet in between them there.
Oh yeah, textbook netcode on that one.
It looks like Matt Kingsbury was making his way through the field right there. He had to get an EOL for the contact on the last caution. He was making his way through there and just got in another mix-up there. That's not what he was hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Joseph's still out front. Tanner's right there in second. Ray has been able to maintain a stand third. Bronson Stafford there in fourth, and Adam Linger rounds had our top 5 here. So, yeah, you're right, Brett. That definitely, now that, we were talking about it earlier on in the race about netcode stuff. Now that right there is a textbook. And unfortunately, folks, you've heard me say it many times throughout broadcast. Netcode, this. You got to understand, this is an online sim. And for everyone who doesn't know, I mean, these guys are online. There are some things that are beyond our control, and connection issues and anything like that, it's just beyond our control. It's just is what it is when it comes with the territory of a online sim. So nothing these drivers can do on that. You know, it's not that they're out there trying to kill each other or anything, which we have seen that before, but it's not that they're trying to do it on purpose. It is just that, hey, it's an online sim, and it happens.
Yeah, I find netcode very unfortunate in certain times. I wish we all complain about it, but you can't really complain about what iRacing has done. We got a great sim we all use, and there's not much to complain about it, but I mean, I'm sure everybody does wish netcode could be a little bit better at times.
Oh, absolutely. And you speak of iRacing, we definitely, man, they've got, for what they have done, for what they've got, and the technology that's out there now, they've done a magnificent job to bring one of probably the most realistic online sims that there is out there. This is the closest, folks, you're going to get to actually stepping foot in an actual real car to race around real people and whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong, there's other sims out there. A lot of them have the AI aspect to them. Hey, they might look pretty, they might have great physics to them, but I'm going to tell you, if you really want to know what it's like to be in some awesome racing with real online people, the real drivers, and about as close as you're going to get to realism, come to iRacing and check it out because it really is here. So definitely is interesting. So what's your take on this race so far, Walker?
This has been fun. I'm glad I've gotten to be up here with you. It gives me a whole new perspective of how these races are. I'm normally down there in the car and can't get a whole view of what's going on. And it's just been really neat to be up here and see everything that goes on during the race, and to get to see how you put on the broadcast. I mean, you do a great job for us. The CFRL is glad to have you. We appreciate everything you do for us, so it's nice to get to be up here with you.
Yeah, and it's been fun so far, man. Like I said, learning a lot about the Indy cars, because, hey, I'll be honest with you, coming into this thing, I didn't really watch too much IndyCar stuff. I mean, I like, obviously, NASCAR, big NASCAR person, obviously drag racing, and love GT3 style cars, road racing and whatnot. But as far as the Indies, never was kind of my cup of tea, but it's kind of opened my eyes up to a whole new thing, level, and learning of what these guys can do and what these cars actually, some of the excitement. Because like I say, I went back and watched some of the real IndyCar races and watched them, and I thought, man, they actually do put on a pretty good show, especially that one in Texas they did, man, like a year or so ago. But it's interesting to see.
Yeah, one thing we've noticed today, it's really a low car count compared to the other ones we've seen. We started out at Indy with a great field. So, I mean, if anybody's watching out there and you are interested in running, give us a shout out. We don't want to lose numbers like this, but we'd love to have new people in the league, and we'd love to keep our numbers up. So if you are interested, just give us a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, short track, short field here. They were off last week. We were off last week here at CFRL. The week prior was Pocono. Definitely good. Right now, attrition's been the major thing here, and obviously just bad luck, basically, from some of the drivers has kind of killed a lot of what these drivers out here. But still got some bad fast boys up here can get it done. And a lot of karts up here can get some action done here. So we're still at lap 114 to 200. Going to be lap 115 when they cross that line on the restart here, as they're about to get set here to do. As lights off on the pace cars coming out of turn number 4 here. He's going to set sail here. He's going to take off on the pit road. Here we go. Joseph's out front here. He's going to try to do it again. Hold off. He does. Gets a good jump out front. Tanner gone. Looks like everyone gets a good start that time. Didn't jack the field up or anything there. So everyone gets a nose-to-tail start on that one.
Yeah, we're clean through 1 and 2 here. Joseph's got a really good lead. As we go back, we got Tanner Watkins in second, Ray Kingsbury in third, and Adam in fourth. Looks like the top 4 are pretty close together there.
Yeah, let's take it to the blimpy cam. That's what I call it, a blimp cam, but I don't call it the blimpy cam. Up front, though, Joseph's still there. Ray Kingsbury and Tanner, man, are right there, nose to tail, and right behind him, you got Adam lingering. The man's just lingering around again. And then you also got Bronson Stafford, man, Kingsbury, Ryan Broderick, Chris Wright, Chris North right there. Haven't really talked about him. Rounds out the top 9 right there. So up front, though, Tanner, Ray, and Adam, they are all right there amongst each other on a nose-to-tail file.
Yes, they are. We are pretty close here. Through the top 5. And it looks like Joseph's got a pretty decent lead. Nobody's really pressuring him as of right now.
No, they're not right there. Well, as we say that, then here comes Tanner trying to close in the gap there on Joseph. But so is Ray right there. Kingsbury all over his back end. Adam diving on the inside. He closed that door real quick.
Let me see, is that Ray going on the outside of Tanner there? It is. Looks like he had a decent run going down the back, but couldn't get it. And here he's going to dive low.
Yeah, it is. Dive on the low side, riding around here with Adam. He's got a good shot of what's going on in front of him. As Ray takes that spot, he's going to think about going on the inside. Let's see if he can't take the spot away.
Looks like he's going to clear as well.
Yeah, he is able to clear. Man, this drops Tanner back there to the 4th place spot as those cars right there. But in the meantime, it also brings up this bunch back here. Bronson Stafford, Matt Kingsbury, Chris Wright. Another 4-car breakaway back here that are nose to tail battling it out, duking it out, so to speak.
Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of a checkup there. These guys are nose to tail for sure.
Yes, they are. We talking about nose to tail. Now to side by side again, as up front Ray Kingsbury's been able to run down Joseph, but back here in the back. So we got battles going on again up there. Walker in the front, battles going on again in the middle side of the track.
Yeah, we got battles everywhere up front. We've got Ray closing in on Joseph. We go back a couple of spots. We've got Matt under pressure from Bronson, and with Chris Wright right behind them. I mean, we have got great racing all over the track right now.
Yeah, it is. And like we said before, you got to have nerves of steel out here. Ryan Broderick looking on the inside of Chris Wright. Right in front of them, though, you got Matt Kingsbury, and that would be Bronson Stafford up there battling it out. Ray Kingsbury, though, here's the thing. Joseph mentioned earlier about Ray. I think they're teammates, aren't they?
I do believe so. He said something about him and Ray working together, so that would be my guess. I'm not sure if they're going to try to work on keeping guys behind him or maybe work on gaining a lead. I'm not sure what their plan is, but it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was saying. They're up there. I don't think that they're going to press the issue too much. The battle right now is going on for 5th and 6th here between Matt and Bronson Stafford. That's going to bring Chris Wright in the mix here along with Ryan Broderick if they don't watch it, because those guys are swapping that position back and forth.
Yeah, we see that second group almost closing in a little bit here. They're getting a little bit closer.
Yes, they are actually able to sneak it on in there just a little bit as they are swapping that position back and forth.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to ask, is that just because they're doing the same thing they did at Pocono, and I know they said that that's just a draft style with these cars, and if it is, it's something I just don't understand how swapping a position makes the cars faster. Is that just an aerodynamic thing with these cars?
Well, what they're doing, Joe, is they're getting the run down the straightaway in the car in front of you. If you are working together trying to catch that pack in front of you, that car in front of you is going to go a little bit higher, allow you to clear them, and then get in behind you, and you're going to swap again. And swapping like that, you got to do it the right way. You got to do it in the corners, and you got to do it clean to get it to work right. But if you can get it to work right, you will close in on the guys in front of you if you can get it just the right way, like we're seeing Matt and Bronson do right there. I mean, that was a perfect example.
Okay, well, good deal. I'm glad, because I was sitting out there wondering, boy, these guys been swapping positions an awful lot. Then they came up and I was talking to them. They said, no, we're out there drafting. I'm going, and not the kind of drafting I'm used to seeing. But hey, new to it. Either way, the great one, yes, it's the CFRL Indycar Championship League. But look them up as the CFRL. As like you just said again, there's Bronson Stafford, no Matt Kingsbury. They're back at it, back and forth, nose to tail here. So definitely, man, right now, these guys are the ones that are putting on the show. As Ray, I think, is content to ride behind Joseph. As of right now, we're at lap 132 of 200.
I believe so. I think those teammates are going to work together, just be content with where they are. As we see Matt and Bronson really working well together here, trying to get back up to them to make that first group even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now, here we go. Boy, man, Bronson Stafford's trying again in that turn, but oh, he got pushed up there, and we almost got that push going in the turn and could have went right into Matt that time.
Yeah, you got to be careful doing it this way. I mean, you've got to have good communication together. I'm not sure if Bronson and Matt have communication or not, but you just got to be careful you aren't sliding up in front of somebody. But if you can get it to work together, they will catch this pack in front of them.
Man, it looks like they're catching it ever so slightly, but you're right. They are textbooking that thing. Turn after turn.
Oh, they got Bronson.
Wow, we saw that one live, and he is still flipping going down the front stretch. Now, the thing about what we just saw right there, Walker, he just lost it.
He sure did, Joe. I'm watching it here on my screen. And it looks like he was afraid to go up to the wall. Matt was a little bit high on him, and it looks like he just had probably a little bit too much wheel on exit there.
Yeah, almost like the incident we saw earlier with Austin, who was up high. That thing just snapped around on him right there. As the cart just snapped around on him. So maybe after a while, when these tires start wearing out, maybe that low line might not be the ultimate place to be.
Yeah, if these tires lose grip, when you're on that low line, the more wheel you're going to have in it, the better chance you are getting that back end around. And I think that's what we just saw Bronson do right there.
Yeah, it seems like there's a fine line between coming out of that turn the right way and then the wrong way. If you come out too low, it seems like this thing will step out. And that's what I'm kind of saying. You have to be, let's use this word, precision driving with these things, because if you don't hit the line right, these things will tell you very, very quickly. And when they tell you quickly, guess what? It's usually in the wall or in somebody.
Yeah, and as an example of what we've been talking about pretty much all race there, I mean, we saw Bronson just fine through the middle. He got on exit, had one little bobble, and I mean, he was gone. I mean, everything just happened so quick in these cars.
Absolutely. Well, you said we want to bring up Chris Wright. We can bring Chris Wright up and get a word in with him. You want to talk to him?
Yeah, we'll see what Chris is up to.
All right, hang on a second. There you
Chris, this is Walker in the booth. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Hey man, we saw you getting that wreck a little bit earlier. It looked like you and Nick kind of got together trying to stop for the wreck on the front stretch. You got much damage from that?
Yeah, they replaced the rear wing, but that was all. You know, it's just part of running these super fast cars at a short track. I lifted, I seen it. The caution hadn't came out yet. Nick hadn't seen it yet, and I hate that it took him out because we're teammates. So hate that it ended his night. But we'll see what happens here. Looks like it's a survival race.
For sure. Knowing you as well as I do, I know you typically want to stay in the back for these races. Has that been your go-to move this race as well?
I've just been kind of going, you know, wherever it feels comfortable. The car is really stable. It's super stable around here. And just trying to make sure you can make it on fuel. But I believe we're good here. Everybody should be good from the stop. So it's all a race now.
10-4. All right, well, we are getting down to about 60 left. Are you all out for the lead here?
Not yet. You know, it's not going to be 3 wide, at least for me. Not yet, you know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. We're missing you out here tonight, but it's cool to have you and Joe up here calling the race. Really awesome, getting to spend a lot of time with Joe the last month.
For sure. All right, Chris. Well, that's all we need from you. Hopefully we get to talk to you here after the race with the podium finish.
All right, thanks.
All right, well, that's all Chris Wright, like you said there, man. The man's he's been looking really good, man, out there so far. Definitely, probably not having the night he would ultimately like. But right now, he's sitting in 5th place spot.
Yeah, he can't complain with how he is, or how he is right now at the moment. I mean, like he said, it's been kind of a survival race. He was lucky enough to get that rear wing replaced, and he's sitting there in 5th now, so can't complain.
Absolutely. Taylor, what are you meaning as far as like when the next broadcast is? Because we're on for the rest of the week here. Not only we got CFRL here, the rest of this race here left. So we're only a lap 140 of 200. So we got a long way to go still. We'll click off very quickly as Joseph's in control. We got tomorrow night. We got Xfinity Series, 3rd race of the chase for ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And then we got obviously their Cup Series on Thursday, Hardline on Friday. And then the Racing Freaks, man, on Saturday. And then we start all back over again on Sunday. So, there you go. Full course of racing, man. OSR Network. Check us out on YouTube. Oh, yeah, we're on YouTube tonight. Facebook Live and Twitch. So, pick which one you like. Pick your poison. If anybody's over on the Facebook side and it's like what they've seen so far, definitely shoot me a message. Hit a comment on there. I definitely will comment afterwards. I can't see the chat on that side as of yet. So, and I see the man out there himself, Michael Finlayson. How you doing?
Looks like we got the main admin there, Mike, in the chat. I know he had to work tonight, was missing the start, but looks like we're getting ready to go green here, Joe.
Yeah, he told me last night, man, he had to work, but green flag here in the air, and boy, Joseph has been able to command every start so far. It looks like everybody got a good restart that time again, Walker. Nothing got messed up on that one. It's Ray and Joseph. Here's the thing, you got 2 teammates up front. Boy, that's going to be dangerous and bad news for the rest of this field.
Yeah, if they can get a lead here and get away from Tanner, they can do that draft swap like we were seeing and pull away from the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now, Ray is trying to do everything he can, but the thing about it is, though, is if Tanner, Chris, and all them get up there to him, it's going to push the issue as Ray goes on the inside. Well, as we say that, well, just throw that paperwork out the side view. Talking about teamwork. Ray just took that top spot and said, hey, look, it's go time.
Most definitely, but hey, can you blame him? Who doesn't want to lead this race?
Absolutely. Well, if they're going to try that right now, the problem is the danger about opening that inside up. As Tanner says, open that door up, I'm going to come kicking right through it here. He's got Chris right. Now we just went from a 2-car battle up front to a 4-car battle.
And we might even make it 5 as it looks like we've got, who is that? Adam in 5th. He's looking up there behind Chris.
Man done lingering around, lingered himself back on the 5th spot.
No kid.
Wow. Well, I mean, what do you say? we would probably later earlier on would have said, man, Joseph's the man in command here, but right now Tanner's turned the wick up here and is definitely putting the pressure on Joseph up front. So now, who do you think, man, has got this one?
I'm still liking Joseph. He's, well, as I say that, Tanner's getting to the low side of him. I mean, even with that, I think Joseph's been up front all race. I feel like he's very comfortable in this car right now. I just feel like he's got the advantage on these guys.
Yeah, he does. I think he's got a long run style car. On a short run, he probably won't want to see a caution out there. Hey, what's going on, Michelle? That's Michelle. Hey, I thought it was Michelle. Michael, what's going on, Thomas? How y'all doing out there, man? I tell you, right now, these guys, man, are putting on a show. And we got a battle for third and fourth right there. That's Adam and actually Chris Wright doing side by side.
Yeah, we were just talking to Chris right there. He said wasn't sure if he was going to go yet or not, wasn't going to make any 3-wide passes. Well, we didn't see 3 wide, but he sure is moving up the field. Yes,
he is moving up there, putting it in third place right now, just behind Joseph, who was sitting in the second place spot there with Tanner out front. Tanner is hoping he can hang on to it. And like we were saying, the one thing I think Joseph does not want to see is another caution, because I think in the shorter runs, he might not have the car, but he takes that lead spot now.
Yeah, and as they're doing that, we've got a 7-car battle up here in the first pack. I mean, it's not just 2, it's not just 3 cars like we've seen most of the race. We've got 7 guys up here close to the lead.
Yeah, it is. Boy, look at that nose cam view right there. Chris Wright, just to show you how close he gets to the backside of Tanner in the wall. Ouch.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a caution there.
Yes, that right there, folks, was a violent hit. We were on the nose can, saw Ray go on the inside, looked like it pushed up there, got in the side of him, and it was just nothing he could do. But let's go back here and watch this again, because Chris Wright, we're going to need some Tylenol after this one. That was a hard lick, and he was at full speed. Let's watch. He got a good run, Ray did, and that car just pushed, and boom, right there in him, and man, what a lick into the wall. Ouch.
And that's the 3rd time we've seen that tonight, Joe. That car on the bottom just eases their way up and pushes that outside car into the wall.
Yeah, that's the thing, I think, is what this track, it's a product of the track, product of the car here, that these guys are just going to have to realize and understand.
And it's really tricky. I'll tell you what, Joe, just because you don't feel the push until exit. The guys that are really good at IndyCar, they let off early into the corner and get the run completely off, and they're fine. The guys that normally struggle with getting the push off, they lift later, which doesn't help you, but they think it will, and they're all out full gas on, and it just pushes right up. So, but that's unfortunate for Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you think Tanner's got anything left for Joseph up there?
I think he does. I think we might have a good battle here. Tanner's kind of come out of nowhere. We haven't really seen him up front as much as some of the other guys, kind of like Breyer was earlier, but I do think he's got something for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you also can't count out old Adam right there. Matt, Ryan, I really can't count out any of these guys up there. If they can get up there, we've seen it happen time and time again, and maybe get Joseph off his mark. The thing about it is, one thing I have noticed about Joseph up there is even though if you get around him, he starts running that arc line, going in high, cut him down low, coming out high, and then he's able to eventually just move right on by you. So it seems like he knows what he's doing once he gets behind the cart, which might help him. So it might take more than one person getting him off his game plan.
Yeah, I mean, if we can do what we did on that last run, though, I mean, we had 7 guys right there up close to the lead. If we can get something like that, it might affect something totally different. We might see Joseph fall all the way back to 4th or 5th if we get real close together. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets shuffled out, how he works the traffic.
Yeah, absolutely right there. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, Tanner definitely is hoping he can get a good jump. And go, John, you're crazy. You're calling me the accountant out there, Walker. That man, he keeps up with numbers more than I've seen anybody.
I'm telling you, it's good for us.
Yeah, absolutely. The man that tells me a lot of the stats going on, helps me out a lot here because, hey, I'll admit, you know, I'm sometimes miss things and not the best in the world on a lot of stuff, but I tell you what, we're not missing. We're not missing a boring race. We're missing one that's very, very exciting.
I'll tell you what, Joe, don't look now, but we got Chris North sitting in the 7th position. I know him personally, and he's just like Chris Wright. He normally sits in the back, and he has survived, and he is in the top 7 now. So keep your eye on him. I don't know what he's got in the tank, but I don't know. We might see what he's got.
Absolutely, and he's still got enough time because it's only going to be lap 156, 157 when we go back green flag of 200. So he's going to have a good solid 40-some laps here to get it done from the back to the front from 7th. And we see it does not take long in these karts to do that. They can actually do it in a matter of a lap or two.
Yeah, you get the right run and the right actions in front of you. You can easily go from 4th or 5th to the lead in a corner. So if we get another short lap or short run here near the checkered flag, I mean, we could see guys coming from 4th and 5th way up into the lead. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Brett, I don't know if we need any more comic relief. Hold on a minute. I think I might be able to pull enough of that up here. We'd kill all the viewers after a while. And we got to concentrate on the race too now.
I need all my concentration on this race. I will tell you what, I did not know how difficult it was to keep up with these cars. I mean, going 17 seconds a lap, they are flying by here, and it is hard to keep up with everything that goes on.
Absolutely, man. You got to love it so far. And these guys, man, I hope all the viewers out there loved it because it has been a journey here. As these guys are lined up here in a single file formation as the pace car's coming out of turn number 4. Got the lights off of it. Going to take a hard left turn. It does. Joseph's going to put it to the floor here again. I got a feeling we're going to get another good start. Everybody gets going good right there in the single file. Tanner gets a good run. Joseph gets that awesome, man, burst of speed out the gate there. And it's just like a horse race, man. Everybody's off and running.
We got Ray Kingsbury. He's going to get a drive-through penalty right here. I'm not sure if that was from the contact we saw with Chris Wright or what, but he is going to have to come down and do a drive-through.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to put Adam Lingen right there in the 3rd spot. As up front, Tanner's going to try to reel that man in, Joseph, up there. So we're going to see if the next closing laps is he's going to be able to do it. That's Ryan Broadix right there. So now everybody's kind of fanned out. You're talking about Chris North. He's already moved up to 6, so we'll see if he's able to pull that card in.
And we're pretty spread out here so far. I mean, we're down to 6 guys really in contention. So we've shortened the field a lot.
Yeah, and you know that's the product of the track, product of the car out here. Mostly product of the track, I would actually say. Just some unfortunate thing, but don't tell that to the man in 2nd spot, as he has done rolled and reeled in the leader, Joseph, up there, and is about to try to make a pass on him, and he's bringing Adam Lingern around with him too. So we're about to have a 3-car battle up front.
Yeah, Joe, it wouldn't surprise me if we see these guys just calm down for these next laps, get settled in, and just have a long green flag run to the end. I'm sure these guys up front especially are tired of seeing the caution flag.
And that's true, but here's another thing is, though, if you calm down and try to run single file, the thing I've seen about with Joseph up there, do you want him to control the pace up front, or would you rather be out front controlling it yourself? Because when he's out there on the longer green flags, it just means he gets, to me, he gets better as the run goes on.
I'll tell you what, if I were in this race right now, I would much rather be in Tanner's seat right now. Leading that race, you're almost like a sitting dog in these IndyCars with that draft. I mean, it's just a matter of time before they get the run. If Tanner wanted to right now, he might be able to go up there and push his way to the lead. He may just be sitting back just because he wants to be in that position.
Absolutely. Well, you talk about the 4 karts. We're about to see what they're going to do, because look at the dogfight mess we got happening here between the top 4, Joseph, Tanner, Adam, and Matt, all right there within feet of each other, storming around here at 180-some mile an hour on a very, very small, did I mention this is less than a mile track, like a 3/4 style track out here at 17-second lap times, and look at the battle for second.
Yeah, they're proving me wrong. I had just said how they might just sit back and calm down and get to the end of the race, and here they are, almost making it 3 wide.
Yeah, absolutely, 3 wide. The problem is Joseph up front's going to love this because that's going to allow him just to sail off into the sunset as Adam Lindgren says, I'm going to try to run you down, but I'm going to tell you, Tanner falls to 3rd. As I say that, no he didn't. It's a battle, man, for 3rd and 4th.
It's a heck of a battle for the 2nd spot here as we see Joseph just kind of coasting away. These guys got to be careful to not let him get too far ahead.
That's what I was talking about. If they let him get too far ahead, they're not going to be able to reel him back in without another caution. And like you said, hopefully this thing just stays green, goes green the rest of the way. Right now, good battle going on between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place right there as Joseph is just setting sail up front, man, is making his own kind of area code up there.
Yeah, these guys need to settle it out now. They got to focus more on getting up to that lead than the 2nd spot. Everybody wants to win the race. Nobody wants to finish 2nd.
Absolutely. Well, look at the run Tanner gets coming on the inside of Adam right there as they go side by side. Usually I'd say door to door, but we're going to have to say wheel to wheel here because they are side by side and wheel to wheel. He passes him and takes that 2nd place spot.
Yeah, we might see them use that draft swap. See if they can use that to their advantage on trying to get up there.
Well, the problem is they got Matt Kingsbury back there who's on the inside now of Adam. So you got 3 cars. How does that draft swap work with 3 cars?
You just got to determine the top 2, or the 2 that are going to do it. Really the 3rd car is just kind of going to sit back and watch it go down.
Gotcha. Well, right now, Adam Lindgren falls to 3rd. Tanner sitting in 2nd. Matt Kingsbury's right there in 4th. They're going to have to settle something because now they got almost a 2nd lead that Joseph has over these guys. And if he keeps just climbing away, time's running out. A lap 173 of 200 will be 174. There'll be 26 to go this next time by here. And you know and I know at 17 seconds, Walker, man, that's going to click off very, very fast.
Yes, it will. As we were speaking, we've got... the 92 of Adam Lindgren was assessed a blocking warning for his actions there with Tanner and Matt.
Wow. Well, where was the blocking at? I didn't see it. Maybe
I'm not sure. I'm not an avid channel, or else I'd be able to tell you.
Look, hey, y'all see things that I don't see. I've learned this stuff, man, up here because I'm just thinking there's some awesome racing going on between these guys. Hey, y'all know better than I know right now. The one thing I do know is they are swapping positions. I think the battle in the race is going to come down here between the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place spot right here.
Yeah, if these guys don't get it settled out here soon, it's just going to be a Joseph show.
Yeah, and it's pretty much if Joseph just kind of keeps everything locked down, doesn't make a mistake up front. I hate saying that to any driver up there and saying, hey, look, yeah, the race is in hand for him because anything can happen. It's racing. We've seen it happen a million times over and over again. One mistake and you're in the wall or something. It could happen the same way. But the battle, 2nd, 3rd right here, you're looking, Adam and Tanner just are not going to give up on each other.
No, they won't. It looks like Matt Kingsbury is going to drop into the 3rd spot. He's going to get around Adam there as well.
Yep, Tanner's able to get out. Boy, I'll tell you what, Adam goes high to the wall. And old Matt up there had to go high to the wall too. Wow, way up the top side, and he's pushing.
They almost made contact there in the middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, he tried to hold on to it as long as he could before he had to just finally give out of it. And it looks like what we're seeing now on the front stretch here is these carts are having to go way to the high side. Well, Tanner's been able to break away a little bit here. So let's see if he can reel that man in up front. A 1.2 second lead. I just think, man, he's a little bit too far ahead. Time-wise, let's see when they cross the line. Yeah, and even up front, Joseph's times right now are still a lot faster.
Yeah, and with it being full throttle, there's only so much time you can pick up. That's why I was afraid with them racing as hard as they were going to lose Joseph, which is what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, Matt, though, he's all over the back end of Tanner. He's going to try it one more time, maybe settle down a little bit as we're here at lap 182 of 200. So, like you said, the race right here, as they come across the line this time by, let's see what Tanner runs this time. He ran a 17.230. Yeah, Joseph is just setting down some blistering pace laps. Ran a 17.169. He's running almost a tenth faster than the 2nd place guy.
This lead is too big if I were sitting in this, second, third, or fourth position, I'd be communicating with the other two with me right now, saying we've got to figure something out to get up to them.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right there, Michael, man. Brings us a road to Indy. You're right. Sonoma next week is going to be exciting. We got a battle going on here for the third spot, but Sonoma's going to be very exciting, man, next week. And then we head off, man, we're heading to the IndyCar. You're right, Indianapolis. We call it our Indianapolis 500, 200, or either way. It's going to be awesome, man, to see these carts go around that. It's been a phenomenal race here at Iowa Speedway tonight for the 200 lapper here for the CFRL IndyCar Championship. Right now, we're seeing a battle for the second, third, and fourth place spot. These guys have had some no fear, and right now, Joseph has commanded this track pretty much a lot of the night so far. It's been his out front, and right now he's still out front. You got Tanner in second, Matt right there sitting in third, Adam in fourth. Ryan Broderick has moved it up in the fifth.
Yeah, these guys, about a second and a half back, Tanner is, of Joseph. He lost about another tenth on that lap, so it's not going in the right direction for him.
Yeah, absolutely. You got three cars, man, right there in the back. Yeah, he's definitely putting down blisterous times. He is not slowing up. Seems like that kart just gets better as time goes on. And up front, Joseph is just showing the way here. And he's doing a well of a job as Ryan's right there. Chris North just not been able to pick up. So maybe what he had is all he had, but he still was able to pick a position up and sitting in a sixth place spot.
Yeah, he can't complain. He's survived this race, and he might be able to sneak his way into a top 5 finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now Chris is sitting about 2 or so seconds away from Ryan, so it's definitely he would have to make up some bad fast positions so far to get it done. The one thing I have noticed here, Walker, is that second, third, and fourth place pack, they kind of spread out, which is what we've seen over the course of a long green flag run with the tire.
Yeah, we've seen this race, or this run go a little longer so far, and we're seeing it spread out, which is what we anticipated, and it's showing. So, we see Matt can't even get up to Tanner right now, and 10 laps ago they were getting up next to each other like it was nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that Joseph had a better long car run here. What he doesn't want to see is a caution like now, because, boy, that would bunch them all up and would put a very big kink in his plan. He would have to have the restart of his life to stay out there. So, because what we've seen is these guys on short runs, they're able to run with him. But on a long run, it's one and done.
For sure. He's now extended his lead to 1.7 seconds, so he's out there extending his lead from Tanner, who doesn't even have any pressure behind him from Matt. So he's just coasting away with his long run car.
Yeah, he's got a 1.6 second lead up front for Joseph right now. Tanner sitting in the second spot and across the line. It's going to be 4 laps to go this time by lap 196 of 200 here for the CFRL IndyCar Championship. And Joseph, man, right now showing you how it's done in an IndyCar up front here as he's leading the way here. Like I said, 1.6 seconds is his gap. He just has to coast and make sure he hits his marks, doesn't make any mistakes up there, and he can sail this thing home here in that Arctic car he's got up there. I think that's Arctic. Is that right?
I think that's what I saw.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Arctic. I believe that's it. Well, we'll ask him if he wins.
Arctic Cat, looks like it says on the back.
Ah, that's okay. Arctic Cat. I'll tell you, I love that roll cam view here on these Indy cars. Just gives you a whole perspective of what they see coming out here. And it's an awesome shot to see the speed that these guys, man, are feeling going around this track.
Yes, it is, Joe. And as we see Joseph coming off of turn 4, he is going to take the white flag here at Iowa.
Absolutely. White flag in the air. This time by final time for that man out front. Joseph right there is going to bring the Arctic Cat, man. Cool cat around here as he storms off around out of the turn for the final time. Comes out one more time, and he's going to win here at Iowa Speedway. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it has been a thriller from the green flag to the checkered flag. And this one, What a 200 lap race, folks. If, we had wrecks, we had, pushing, we had teammates, we had leads, we had passing, we had long green flag runs. What a race, man. Everything that you could actually put in this thing. And then he blew it up.
He sure did.
Over-revved that thing. Boom. He said, well, we don't need that no more.
I guess he's not going to get to do himself a burnout.
Yeah, he said, we don't need no motors. All right, well, let's see if we can't get these guys up here. I'm gonna let you interview the third and the second place man there, Walker, if you want to.
Sure can.
All right, let's bring him up here and get him in the waiting room here. There's Tanner. That's neat old Matt. Now, let's see who old Matt is. Yep. All right, well, let's get up here, man, because our third place man tonight, Matt Kingsbury, did everything he could do, and he mustered up there, but he was able to pull off a third place finish. Here we go, Matt Kingsbury.
Race was ridiculous.
Matt, this is Walker up here in the booth. You got me?
Yep.
Matt, we saw you overcome a lot of adversity today. I think you had 2 EOL penalties, and you were able to come back to third. What did it take to get the track position to get back up there?
I only had 1 EOL. The other one was deemed lag or something like that. But it was tough, man. Thankfully, the field was pretty small. It thinned out with a few wrecks there, but it's the aero push at the end there on the old tires on the long run is just bad, and you can't make up any ground. So you really had to make up your spots early in the race.
Definitely. We also saw you and Tanner there, as well as Adam, with a great run with each other there on the last run. Did you guys try to work together to try to get back up to Joseph, or were you guys more or less just fighting for that second spot?
You can't really work together at this track. The car with the road course springs on it, they're just too much drag. You can't really swap draft here, so it's better just to work for yourself here. If this is a 1.5 miler, I think you would have seen us working together, but not here.
Definitely. Well, we saw you really run the wheels off of it today. Is there anybody you want to thank for your race today?
Yeah, I just got to thank Gamer Gloves and my teammates for helping me out for the race. That was a tough one. Thanks you to the admins and you guys for putting the race on.
For sure. Well, thanks, Matt. It was fun watching you tonight.
All right, well, that's a third place man right there, man, Matt Kingsbury. So, I don't know, man. I tried everything, kind of a different perspective on what he was talking about is how the race was going. We were sawing out there, guys trying to help each other, but they're a lot different than the Pocono to this track. Definitely two different styles. Well, let's bring up our man who pulled it off in second place tonight, Tanner.
Tanner, this is Walker up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you guys.
Tanner, we saw you drive the wheels off that thing there on the early parts of the runs, working with Joseph, even in the lead for a little bit. What did it take for you to get that car in second place tonight?
It kind of took a little bit of luck. Before qualifying, I had my internet drop out, so we were kind of scrambling just to get qualified. Got back in and qualified 7th or something like that. And then after that, it was just about being real careful. There was some weird stuff going on with iRacing and the servers tonight. There was some, contact that probably wasn't a lot of dudes' fault, but, still ended some guys' races. So it was just about kind of missing the danger and then, being consistent. That's what it's all about. And Joseph's a pretty consistent guy, so you have to be on your toes and hitting your spots to be able to stay with him. But it was fun. You just had to keep the car under you.
For sure. Like you were saying, we saw a couple of times guys get out of shape at weird moments. We heard during the race, there was a lot of grip down the stretch there. Trying to get back to Joseph, was there just not enough grip there left for you to get back up to him?
Yeah, I mean, with the weather, it was pretty grippy. It was default weather, but with the late afternoon time slot, it had a lot of grip. I think it was about laps 165, 170 all the way to lap 185 or something like that. I actually wasn't getting 100% out of my throttle pedal because I could see that it wasn't completely pegged at the end there. But it wouldn't have really mattered, I don't believe. We, meaning myself, Matt, and I think it was Adam, kind of swapped spots a few too many laps there after that restart, battling for second, third, and fourth, and that just separated us enough from Joe from really having a chance to catch him. So yeah, I think it was a moot point at the end, but had I caught his draft, you know, it would have been fun at least. I think we could have at least put on a little bit of a show there.
Definitely. We saw you guys really duking it out for the lead early, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Anybody you want to thank for the race tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. You know, it's a big deal for, you know, it's not a new league with the CFRL, but it's a new venture with them doing IndyCar, so we appreciate you guys stepping up and doing the broadcast. And then I'd also like to thank the Avery Huffman DIPG Foundation. We've been partners with them for about a year now, and we got some cool stuff coming up with this league and their Indianapolis race in September, and then another Indianapolis race with a different league in September. So we'll have some more information on that on our social media channels. You can check that out at our Twitter handle at WMG Updates. And yeah, that's about all I have. Good points tonight for us, and fun race. Hectic, but fun.
Definitely. Thanks, Tanner, for coming up here with us.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, man, that's Tanner right there, and definitely a good job on his end, being able to pull that thing off in second spot. Well, I'll tell you what, Walker, I'm going to head off down here to victory lane because a man is going to be very happy who kind of just did us a textbook and showed us, man, how to get it done in one of these cars out here tonight at Iowa Speedway. The winner tonight, old Joseph. Joseph, Joe White the Boots, got a copy?
Yep.
All right, Joseph, I'll tell you what, textbook out there tonight. You were able to run that cart. Looks like on long runs, you were just able to walk away and do what you needed to do out there. How was the car? How was everything running out there for you? And again, congratulations for pulling off the win here at Iowa Speedway.
Thank you. Yeah, the car was good all night. The weather just makes that car just stick to that track. There, no setup in the world is really gonna change that with the air temps that we had. I kind of got lucky that last stint. I won the race off pit road, and then those guys all start racing side by side. It allowed me to break the draft, and ended up, once I did that, I was able to walk away. So I was glad the attrition ended. I did not want a caution with 20 to go.
That's what me and Walker was talking about up here. That would seem like you had a better long green flag running style car out there tonight. And when you got out there and running, you was able to just keep running and keep going and going and going. And that we knew if a caution came out, it definitely would put them guys right there back with you with a bit of a battle. So and you definitely got it out there. Long green flag run to the end. Pulled the win off here tonight. Looked good out there doing it. Like I say, I give my hats off to every one of you guys out there for the speed and as close as y'all were. And congratulations on the win here tonight. Man, you got anybody out there you want to thank for this day?
Yeah, just thank my teammates. Thank Articat for letting me put their paint on my car. Thank the league admins. They're doing as good job as they can. I know these guys are all getting in their ears every week, but I know it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it, and I appreciate that. And thanks for running the broadcast for us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Loving it, too. Learning a lot about these cars out here, learning a lot about what it takes. And my hat's off to you drivers. And again, my hat's off to you for putting on a awesome textbook show out here, showing how to do the draft, do long green flags runs. And again, oh, yeah, I got to ask, too, can you pronounce your last name for me?
Yep, it's Hassert.
Hazard. Okay. Well, throughout, you're probably going to hear us mess it up, but we eventually just decided we'd just say Joseph, and we just left it at that throughout the
You can
broadcast.
call me Big Joe.
Big Joe. All right.
Yep.
Well, from one Joe to the other, congratulations on the win here tonight for the CFRL Indycar Championship League Iowa Speedway, because Big Joe did big things in that car with some big speed tonight and put it in victory lane. Again, congratulations.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, well, there you go, man. I tell you what, tonight we got a good nickname for him, Big Joe. Well, let's get the results because, hey, like he just said, Big Joe Well, he did big. He put it in victory lane. You can't get no bigger than that. Tanner right there in second. Matt Kingsbury sitting at third. Adam lingered. Hey, lingered it up into fourth place. Ryan Broderick stayed in fifth. Chris North sixth. Ray Kingsbury seventh. Chris Wright in eighth. Bronson Stafford ninth. And Sergio sitting there in 10th.
We got Jose, who was in 11th. Breyer 12th. Austin ended up with that early spin, ended up 13th. Nick Massey in 14th. Justin Krasneski in 15th. Cole Bagunia in 16th. And William Kruska in 17th. And we had the other three there. Myself, Josh, and Jamie Adams did not start.
All right, well, good deal. Well, I tell you what, Brett out there said he knew it was the same guy. I'm thinking, man, that is Joseph somebody we should know, maybe, throughout or something here. Maybe you know Walker?
I don't know. Do I know Brett?
I don't know. Brett's saying that something about the Big Joe. Maybe he knows who he is, but maybe we'll find out here coming next week at Sonoma. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. Awesome race. Walker, you got any final words on this one?
I just want to thank you again for letting me come up here and being a part of it. I mean, it was just really fun to be up here with you and give me a whole new perspective on the racing we've got, especially as an admin in this league, seeing things that we might be able to improve and make this league even better. So yeah, thank you again for doing this every week for us and putting on a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it, man. I tell you what, it's been a good experience here with these Indy cars. We go to Sonoma next week, folks. Road course action right there. Oh, okay. Good deal. GSRC. All right. Awesome. Good deal. Well, there you go. Well, that'll work. I knew you had to know him from somewhere. It's also known as Big Joe Hazard on. Okay. Gotcha.
There we go.
Good deal. Well, then, man's famous throughout everything. Awesome. Well, like you said, next week we go to Sonoma. Road course action. And I like Sonoma. Very technical style track. As you're going to have to be on your game and on point, man, to get around that thing. So, till then, OSR Network here tonight for the CFRL Indycar Championship League. Tune in tomorrow night, though, at 8:45. We got ExtremeMotorsports99.com Xfinity Series. Until then, everyone, have a good night.